We are done lactation, pregnancy, children. Now, should we go to menopause or should we take question answers today? What do you want? Or menopause, then question answers. Good idea? Yeah, better idea. In the meanwhile, if you have any question, you can type in the chat. You should start your videos for better interaction. Menopause. So, menopause is a natural event in a woman's life when her ovaries exhaust or have minimum reserve for eggs now, and that is the reason she is not able to ovulate. That is the reason the cycle is broken. Just a second. So, Darshana, you are distracting so much. It feels like you are fighting with your husband. The camera is moving all the time, and plus your facial expression today, smile is not there. So I was like, I got, the gossip is the best part. So I got so much interested and I paused and I checked. Yeah, Darshana is fighting. Yay, watch it, watch it. Then I would have made you spotlight and everyone would have watched you see the events unfolding. Menopause. Yeah, you can do your hair and all those things. So, menopause. After fight, it happens. Yeah, hair gets messy. So, now, because the cycle is interrupted, so what will happen is number one step, because ovulation is not happening. So since what is the normal cycle? Ovulation happens, then corpus luteum is formed, and this will secrete progesterone. Because ovulation is not there, corpus luteum is not there, progesterone is not there. Forget corpus luteum, those who are non-medical. Yeah. So because ovulation is not happening, so progesterone will not increase. Right? What is progesterone? It helps to build the uterine growth so that uterus is prepared for the pregnancy. What will happen if progesterone is less? Uterus will be thin lined. So uterine atrophy we call it. Okay, uterus become thinly lined. Number one. Progesterone is less. Now estrogen is less. Because the estrogen is less, there are multiple problems. Bones will get weak, calcium metabolism will be impaired, mood swings will happen, skin will become, yeah. So what is estrogen? Estrogen is a youth hormone. Okay. So if you take estrogen artificially, then you will feel that you are getting younger and younger. But there is a problem. If you take artificial estrogen, then the cancer risk increases very suddenly. That risk is very high. That is the reason we are not giving youth hormone to become young or to prevent aging. So estrogen creams, best for wrinkle prevention, but side effect is so high. Cancer you don't want, right? And so estrogen, the natural estrogen which is there in the body, that is protective for bones, skin, mood, ovaries, uterus, overall body, everything. Okay, you feel good, you feel young, and everything is good. Okay, bones are stronger. So all the things when estrogen is not there is going to happen. There is a naturally occurring estrogen which is called phytoestrogen. It is present in the soybean seeds. So that's why I always like and always promote soybean seeds flour. So whenever you are putting, like you are cooking chapati or making rotis, so two portions of soybean seeds flour, three portions of remaining, whatever you like, bajra, jawar, wheat. Okay, so that's the best combo. If you are using multi-mix, mix atta, multigrain, then make sure that it has soybean seeds. They do not add because it is a costly thing. Not so costly, but commercially they have to compete. So they will not add. So what you do, you take soybean seeds and go to your flour mill and get it grind and then mix it in your multigrain atta. Multigrain atta available by Ashirwad and Pillsbury, whichever taste suits you and budget suits. Both are equal. So phytoestrogen present in soybean seeds is a chemical which is more similar to estrogen, which will have effect like estrogen, but side effects are not there. Which the side effect which will happen if you take artificial estrogen. Never ever apply any cream which claims it has estrogen. Even if it says phytoestrogen, do not take that risk because you don't know under the name of phytoestrogen whether, because it is difficult to extract this molecule. So they might put the easily available chemical estrogen, which is carcinogenic. Estrogen tablets you cannot take. Okay, but there is estrogen tablet we take, right? We take estrogen tablet in a small dose, very small dose, right? To prevent pregnancy, we take it. Correct. So that, remember, that dose is very small. Plus that molecule is different. So in estrogen also there are different types of estrogen. So that is particular estrogen which is helping for pregnancy prevention. Now menopause. Now you might have heard about many fairy tales either in movies or in some other stories that she at the age of 50 or 60 got pregnant and all. Oh, egg is not getting released, so it will not happen here. Now, can she have become surrogate? Can she have surrogate? No, because egg is not getting released, so the surrogacy is not possible. Okay, she has taken the egg from somewhere else and embryo from somewhere else and implanted, or embryo preserved from old past and implanted. No, not work because progesterone is not there. Now people are like, okay, we can give progesterone injection. Yeah, that artificial progesterone, you don't know how much it matches with your natural progesterone. And it is not only about progesterone, it is completely all the molecules, okay, all the hormones. Now this estrogen and progesterone, there is a drop, okay, because now this estrogen progesterone typically they reduce they go to pituitary, act on pituitary and give it negative feedback. Tell pituitary to secrete low LH, low FSH. Okay. So if estrogen and progesterone is less, so pituitary will secrete more LH and FSH. Right. So in the urine of a menopausal woman, estrogen, progesterone is less, LH, FSH is more. Okay. Now FSH especially. Now you need to understand that FSH will be more in this case. So there are cases where there is a premature menopause or for some reason menstrual cycle stops. So to differentiate, this information helps. Okay. So blood estrogen, blood progesterone is less and urine FSH is high. This is classical menopause. But you don't need a lab diagnostic test to identify that someone is menopause. Yeah, you will know from her behavior. She will have mood swings, flushing, red flushes, right? And she will feel very heat and maybe temper tantrums or may get angry, very irritable easily. Not temper tantrums. Temper tantrums classical for teenager age. For old age, irritable, Sasuma typical types. So all the symptoms present in your sasuma, they are typical of menopausal woman. Yeah, Darshan is thinking which one is matching. Yeah, all of them matching. So you are thinking of yourself, you are thinking of your sasuma, or you are thinking of what? So you have lot of time. You are still young. Don't worry. And you should be worried. How should I prevent those symptoms actually? Then weak bones, tendency to fracture at the time of menopause or perimenopausal phase, we call it, or postmenopausal phase. So after the menopause, there is an increased risk of heart attack because your protective hormones are gone, estrogen is gone. Then there is an increased risk of cancers, right? So woman has to endure so many things, right? First, the childbirth, then menopause is a very tough time. So what you will do is you will start. See, menopause is not a one-day event. Before the menopause, it will have irregular menstruations, or maybe if delayed. The gap between two menstruation is bigger, 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 and then it stops. For some women, it is 40, some 45, some 55. Okay. Now, is every woman now some common questions? Is every woman at a risk of cancer at menopause? Answer is no. It depends on genetics. It depends on your genes. It depends on your family history. It depends on your environment. It depends on your stress. How much stress you take, how much emotional trauma you trap, right? And it depends on whether you for this is for all cancers, and for breast cancer, so the feeding the child, lactation, it protects from the breast cancer. It is scientifically known that breast cancer is prevented by or reduced incidence by breastfeeding, prolonged breastfeeding. So if you are a working woman, you should breastfeed, try to breastfeed longer. Because what happens, why I'm emphasizing, working women, they typically try to reduce it to 4 months, 6 months. So you should increase it. So when I use the word scientific evidence, why I was smiling is uh, in the book. So this is most likely sixth or seventh edition of the book. In this edition, there are some fun moments. So anywhere you find this statement, the scientific research points towards the evidence, and that the statement following it will be very like absolutely non-scientific. Okay, so that's why I was smiling for it. I will give you example. So there is a concrete scientific evidence that uh, those husbands do not appreciate their wives' food, they develop dyslipidemia. And uh, there is a lot of scientific data which proves that the husbands who appreciate their mother's food instead of wife's food, they die early. They survive less. So whenever you find in the book the new edition, so this statement scientific evidence, it means it is going to get followed by some statement which is actually more truthful. Yes, yes. So more truthful than ever. Yeah. Now what you will do when someone is going through the menopause, you tell her what are the things you will tell her. Okay. So you will tell her to buy BP apparatus, buy glucometer, monitor both of them, because this is at the time of risk. Regular examination of breast to early detection of lump. Okay, so either you get trained or you send her to gynecologist. Okay. Then uh, do psychology counseling for her. Learn from my book psychology counseling or the program, and do psychology counseling for her, because this is a time she will have more of anxiety, stress, depression, emptiness syndrome. Children will go for further education or marriage or all those things, right? Then try to tell her to try to find some new hobby or develop something or make a routine out of it. Okay, so whatever is your routine, you follow that. Don't hamper your routine. So this is a time when she will become socially isolate and feel lonely and all those things. Try to tell her that continue visiting the families or the houses where you used to visit, continue to have social gatherings, go to the social gatherings, all those things. Drink plenty of water, add soya seeds if you are not already done because you are not meeting me earlier. So now you are meeting me now, you are paying my fees now. So now is the time you will add soya seeds in your flour. Light exercise. Do not tell the old granny to start your gym and all those things. So she will never do that. So you tell her light exercise. You can climb the flights of stairs, 4 flights of stairs or 2 flights of stairs. Walk in the garden, take your dog for the walk. Ask your dog to take you for the walk. Or continue doing whatever chores you have been doing. Okay. More important is take precaution for falls. Okay. Put anti-slip mat in the places, wash places where it is wet, and put anti-slip mat in the bathroom to prevent the fall because this is a time of fracture. Do not climb the stools and all to clean your fans. So most of the women they fall with this. So you have to instruct. Do not engage in whatever battles you have been doing with like Darshan has been doing on the camera. So the similar battles with your husband don't do now because the time is over now. So you are reaching your oldest now. Now is not a time you are going to buy a new husband. So you have to try and manage with the same one. Yeah, please try to adjust. Don't spoil your mood. So this is a time she will also gain weight. Now because she is gaining weight, so she is afraid, well, what should I do? So here the diet has limited role for weight gain because the weight gain is more probably because of hormonal changes and thyroid risk. Okay. And whatever weight gain she has done, it has happened all throughout her marriage days. Now is a very little weight gain she is going to have. So the real gain she is going to have is the fats. Okay, so fat is going to get increased. So there is nothing much that can be done if you do not exercise. It's not about the food now, it's about the exercise. So what are the signs symptoms? What are the difficulties she will have? She will have hot flashes, night sweats, fatigue, brain fog. She will feel confused, may have mood swings, anxiety, irritability, fear of the future, fear of the worry, thinking so much, and irritable. Yeah. So sleep disturbance is a serious issue. Weight gain, then low interest in the previous activities she used to find interest in, and joint pains. So another, why the joint pain? So multiple reasons. One is estrogen is gone, so protective mechanism is gone. Now the aging has accelerated now because the estrogen was protective, it was preventing your aging, now it is less, so your aging is accelerated very fast after the menopause. And obviously then old age related cartilage damage, sometimes rheumatoid arthritis, all those things, very tough. Okay. A woman's life is very tough life. Okay. Now FSH and LH both will be high. Now what are the diagnostic things you will do? Okay. So this woman has come to you. So now number one diagnostic is simple thing: BP, blood sugar, HbA1c, thyroid, breast examination for lump. Now cervical examination by gynecologist, pap smear is also recommended. Okay. This is a time for cervical and uterine cancer or uterine fibroids. This will be repeated, all these screening things. Okay, so breast examination every 6 months, cervical examination and pap smear every year. Okay, now after the age of 40, it is also recommended for those who have increased risks of colon cancer, then colonoscopy is recommended. Okay. You don't routinely, you will not need to prescribe estrogen, progesterone, FSH, LS. You don't need to recommend them this investigation because it is not routinely required. For scientific basis, yes, FSH is more, LH is more, it is going to be more. So, right, not required to do. What are the changes you will do? Food support. So, understand what is the less thing here. So, bones are weak, estrogen is weak, energy is weak. Okay, she is putting more fat but losing muscle mass. What will you add? Proteins. Add protein, add calcium, add phytoestrogens. Simple. Okay. If non-vegetarian, very easy. If between the two, then eggs. If not, then vegetarian will be the best, and my favorite is soya seeds. Either soya seeds cooked as sabji along with dal, or the simply it's like that only, like you cook moat and all. Same way you can cook, you cook chole. Same way you can cook soya seeds or mixed with flour, because it is one of the highest source of protein, calcium, and phytoestrogens in vegetarian food. Okay. Don't tell the old woman to start taking soya milk. Have you ever read the content? What is that? How much calcium, protein, and everything it has? It has nothing much. Yeah. Simple cow milk is also sufficient. Okay. Paneer is sufficient. Don't tell to go for tofu. The taste is hideous, and because it is not selling so much, it is most likely spoiled, old, stale. You don't want that. Now, this is a time this woman will also have constipation problem. For constipation, what will you do? Increase fibers, vegetables, fruits, fibers. This is a time she may develop hypertension, salt. So you need to avoid your papad and pickles, and you need to uh, whatever vegetable you are salad you are eating, don't sprinkle the salt, or if you sprinkle very little. Probiotics for the gut will be the curd or diluted curd, buttermilk. So two two ratios of water, one ratio of curd, or 1:1. Put some salt for taste, then jeera powder. Either you take it sweet or you take it the salty. Regarding now the common question, can I still continue eating sweets? Yes, you can continue eating sweets. Don't worry. Okay. So if you already this woman is suffering so much, and if you take away her sweets, if she likes sweets, that is so bad. Huh? Don't do that. Anyways, at this age, very less likely she will ask for, can I continue eating pizza and Domino's and burger? Even if she has to say yes, because she's not going to eat daily or routinely. Can I eat outside food? Yes, you can eat anything and everything. Enjoy your life. The changes are not for that you have some disease. No, this is a part of your life. You need to adapt to it so that your muscle mass doesn't go down, your bones don't get weak, your skin is like less aging, plus you do not develop some new fracture. uh, why I use the word new fracture? You do not develop some fractures, and you try to diagnose your diabetes early, you try to manage your hypertension early, so that these conditions do not lead to some complications. Okay. Will this increase life? So the reverse answer is, if you are a menopausal woman with hypertension, with diabetes, smoking, alcohol, it will reduce your life. So you understand now, if you prevent your alcohol, smoking, fighting, manage your diabetes and hypertension, reduce your salt, then your chances of living more will be, living more than your husband is more. That's the competition, right? And now at the end, what is the quality of life you want? So to have a better quality of life for last 5-10 years, you are trying to manage your diabetes, hypertension, you are trying to catch your cancer risk early, you are trying to prevent your fall. You understand? So we are talking in all the terms. When a client comes menopause, do not talk of nutrition dietetics, because the management is not only about nutrition diet. That is a very small part now at this age. The major part is about all other things. So explain her this. She will love you. She will like you. Yeah, she will send more clients to you. She will come to you every time she has a fight with her husband, or she wants, or she's not happy because, yeah, she has no one to talk. So the best part is you manage the nutrition, dietetics, the lifestyle, and prevention of certain things, events or conditions, risk. Plus you manage a psychology counseling. Okay. So if you for this applies for every condition actually, pregnancy, adolescence, then everyone, right? Old age. So if you provide nutrition, dietetics, holistic approach, plus psychology counseling, this is a best service you can provide and you will earn better. If you want to take up psychology counseling program, you can talk to me. For hyperacidity, at this stage, you don't need marriage counseling for this client, right? So difficult to buy new. And she has already compromised and learned to live with this. Hyperacidity, acidity. Okay, so acidity may be because of contaminated water, because H. pylori infection is happening. Number one and the major cause. Okay, so ask her to change the uh, wa- so not husband water filter, or not the cartridge only, by because you are now you 20 years are gone already, or 15 years, 10 years you have been living with the same water filter. So it's time to change your water filter now. Okay, and not only the cartridge. Okay, right. Then that is number one and the most common. Number two is that whatever food now doesn't suit you, you can slowly wean off. Don't tell her stop your spices. Hey, she has been eating spices since a long time, yeah. And don't punish her so much. She is already getting punished, yeah. Yeah, you know what is the reason for that. So don't trouble her so much. Whatever she wants to eat, let her enjoy. She will reduce her spices and chilies by her own because she is suffering because of that. You don't need to tell her. Okay. Now, if it is still not getting managed because there is a esophageal reflux. So esophagus is there and then stomach is there. Between them there is a sphincter. So this sphincter, because of the old age or because of things, it will go weak. Because it is weak, now this acid in the stomach may climb in the esophagus. This causes burning sensation in the center of the chest. Now burning sensation, heaviness, center of chest is frightening sometimes because they are watching the YouTube and they think that it is a heart attack. So every night she lies down, she sleeps, this is a problem. So for that medicines are available. So she will visit her consultant and take medicine. So common is Rantac D, Pantop D and all those. Okay. So there are two ways to do that. So D means domperidone. So it will tighten the sphincter, it will empty the stomach, increase the peristalsis of intestine, and it will reduce the pantoprazole component or omeprazole component will reduce the acid. But you cannot take it prolonged because then there is an effect on many other organs. Okay, so the best part is to manage your diet. Now to manage the diet for acidity, the best is to manage the time. 2 hours before you sleep, walk after you eat, drink water after 30 minutes of your meal, and drink plenty of water so that there is a sufficient peristalsis. Eat fibers, eat fruits. In the night time, if you it doesn't suit your system, then avoid spices, chilies, and have a light food. Okay. Identify which particular grain is causing you trouble. Sometimes it may be that someone has gluten problem or maybe problem with bajra or tur dal or chana dal or besan, right? So identify which component is causing you, food item is causing you trouble. You avoid that item. Okay. So calcium, protein, phytoestrogen, right? Then fibers. Then comes multivitamins, multiminerals. Okay. So you can take all those for magnesium and all. You can take green leafy vegetables and all. Okay. because she has come to you, or maybe her consultant can recommend her some multivitamin. But multivitamin should not have A to Z baba, everything it should not have. It should be light. It should have 5 or 10 components. And I would prefer two different multivitamins on two different days, which covers different products, different minerals, right? Because already she has acidity and all those things. Foods to avoid or reduce all these fried snacks and sugary things, alcohol, spice, and fights and cigarettes. Now, key ingredients. So, what will you need is vitamin D3. So, the best way of vitamin D3 is what? Arachidonol nano. Yeah, uh, drink it once a week. Best. It supports your gut health also. It increases your immunity also. Supports your bone functions also. Omega 3 fatty acids to support your brain functions and anti-inflammatory things to avoid becoming सास भी कभी बहू होती. Calcium prevent blood loss. Sorry, prevent bone loss. Vitamin K12 is for that blood, but here it is bone loss. Calcium. Magnesium is for sleep, muscles, and mood. Magnesium is required for everywhere and anywhere. Okay. Where you will find this, I have written. You will read it. There is a list of this. You will need to exercise. Yeah. So don't tell her to join the gym, because only she will end up joining the gym but never going there. Simple flight, climbing the flights of stairs keeps your joints movement, spine strengthening, plus muscles and exercise is also done. So climbing stairs is the best part. Climbing up and coming down. Then walk if possible, and continue your routine work what you have been doing. So how many days should I exercise? 5 days. How many minutes per day? 30 minutes per day. This 30 minutes include the walk, climbing the stairs, and doing whatever you want to comfortable to do. If you want to lift the weight, so so typically what happens, many people they read nutritionists, they read some US recommendations. They have that culture. Lift heavy weights, go to the gym and become the bodybuilder, because anyways they are diverse very early at their age and they become. So we cannot do that, okay? And if you tell a woman buy the dumbbells, she will not do. And never ever buy the dumbbells of 2 kg, 3 kg, 4 kg. No, half kg. Let people laugh at you. It's okay. At least half kg you are doing something. Instead of doing 10 times, you are doing 20 times and you are motivated. It is so easy. You are enjoying it. Fun. Half kg, 1 kg. Those who are like very aspirational, I will buy 4 kg and do it. They have never ever touched their dumbbells ever. Those who have already been doing in the gym, that is a separate part. Okay. Then you do yoga for relaxation and breathing exercises. Emotional care is very important. For emotional care, you take psychology counseling support, because you are going to feel lonely, emptiness syndrome, anxiety, stress, depression. The last 3 symptoms are because you are not anymore able to fight. Yeah, you are compromised. So these last 3 reasons are this. And one more emotional turbulence you will face is sleep problems. See, if she is gaining sudden body weight, it's not about menopause. It may be because of thyroid. Okay. So evaluate the thyroid. Gut health, my favorite. Fibers, vegetable salad, fruits, sufficient water, 3 to 5 liters water, and probiotics. In probiotics, don't buy outside probiotics, because most of them contain lactobacillus acidophilus. Your homemade curd, your purchased curd, buttermilk, you make it at home, good and sufficient. Okay. You can make kimchi or pickles at home. Okay. But the problem is then salt, the hypertension. If you are hypertensive, then you will need to avoid that. The best and the easiest is Acticopro. because Actico Pro developed by me, and the license is yet to come, so it is not available commercially, but you can still buy from me as of now. So it contains all the microbial flora in optimum quantity for supporting many of the conditions. Please ask questions. Then there is a meal plan for breakfast, mid-morning, lunch, evening snacks and dinner, what you should eat. I have never seen a single person who will follow that. Anyways, because we are learning this, it is mentioned in the book. Dose of calcium. Bhavya is asking an interesting question, dose of calcium. As soon as you say dose of calcium, it means you are assuming you are taking calcium tablets. There is a serious problem with the calcium tablet at this age. Number one, renal stones. Number two, constipation. You don't want that, both. Okay. So what you do is, if you must take calcium tablet, take a lower dose. So all the tablets available in the market are 500 mg or 1 gram. So I personally prefer 250 mg if required. But if you are taking vitamin D and taking other sources of calcium, then this will be absorbed sufficiently, my dear. You don't need calcium then artificially. Okay. So the other sources will be the milk, paneer, chicken, fish, soybean. Done. What else you want? Not the soybean chunks. See, soybean chunks, they are good in taste, those who like the taste, and they are high in fibers. But what is soybean chunks? There is soybean seeds. They crush it, remove the oil, and whatever this busa is remaining, they feed it to the cows. And then they realize that, yeah, there are some people who are below the cows, below the animals. So let's make it soya chunks and feed this to them. And they earn money out of it. Okay. So the soya chunks, they are for good taste or maybe for fibers, but they don't have same nutrition as the soya seeds. So for phytoestrogen, calcium, proteins, you will eat soya seeds. Okay. Questions, more asked? Foods for sleep. There is a chapter I have given the list. All the foods, complete one chapter is dedicated for that. Yeah, there is a complete big list, 50 products. Taranjit asking, hypertensive patients, both black salt, white salt needs to be avoided. Okay, very good. So it is not called white salt, it is called common salt actually. So you can take common salt, which is like Tata iodine yukt desh ka namak, or you can take rock salt, but not rock salt of very fancy things. Tata also sells rock salt, which is little pink. Okay. The taste is better, and it marketing tactics say that it protects from hypertension. I'm not sure how much scientifically it says. Okay. Then black salt. Okay, that so-called singdanamak, black salt and all, they are little harmful actually. So you try to give this, you try to take daily buttermilk. Okay, 1 month you take it with your common salt, 1 month you take it with your black salt. So the month you are taking with black salt, you will realize you are retaining more water and you are gaining weight. Okay, then you shift to common salt, you will lose that excess water. When you shift to rock salt, you may further half liter, 1 liter, means half kg, 1 kg, you will lose further. So the sequence wise salt will be rock salt, but not that fancy rock salt called Himalayan rock salt. Yeah, you don't need to go to Himalaya to bring the rock salt. It is available probably somewhere else. I don't know the source, but you don't need to go to Himalaya actually. You can buy it from Tata, big basket, it is available. And then it is costlier obviously as compared to your now common salt. So rock salt, common salt, and then there is nothing better for this age, dear, except the taste part. So this is an interesting question. Can we delay menopause by lifestyle modification and diet? You can delay the effects of menopause. Complications happening around the time of menopause by lifestyle modifications and diet. Complications like hypertension, diabetes, increased risk of cancer, your constipation, mood swings, having sufficient probiotics, sufficient gut bacteria that supports your serotonin. Because serotonin, where is the serotonin secreted? Serotonin is secreted in the intestine with the help of microbial flora. This serotonin goes to brain, gets converted to dopamine, and that gives you happiness. Less dopamine, more depression. Okay. So if you have healthy gut bacteria, then you will have less mood swings, less irritability, less depression. Involving yourself in some social activity, keeping yourself busy in some projects or learning something, taking up new skill, teaching someone new thing, or yourself learning some new skill. Okay. Then early routine checkups for cancer prevention, diabetes, thyroid. Lifestyle and diet management for prevention of hypertension, diabetes, right? Weight gain. Then involving inculcating the habit of soya flour to protect your bones, muscles, skin, calcium, protein, phytoestrogens. Daily probiotic, making a routine. So these are the things that prevents the effect of menopause. So if you ask, can we delay the menopause, right? So dealing the menopause, you may need to think on that, work on that. Okay, there have been some studies, not concrete evidence, which shows that exercise, those who are active women exercising actively, their menopause is delayed. Okay, but there is no scientific evidence. Probably, there is no concrete statistical data for that. Yeah, probably these women are more conscious about their health. They are actively involved and all those things. There may be other factors also. Now, you need to understand the physiology. A girl child is born with limited number of eggs. Every month, she is going to utilize around 10,000, more than 10,000 of the eggs to release one egg. So 10,000 eggs are utilized because all of them grow. Okay, but one is released, one which is fully mature. Remaining form corpus luteum. Okay. Now, there is a limit when she will have her menopause. Okay. So that limit is predetermined at your birth. At your birth. Some women they menopause at 40, some menopause at 55 because they had more eggs. A PCOD client will have early menopause. Okay, because most of the ovary is cyst, empty. So eggs are not there. Okay. Then there is another condition called premature menopause, which happens because of certain reasons, including genetics also. So in endometrial erosion, do we have to change the routine diet? No. So endometrial lining is thin because progesterone is not there, and that is not no problem. Okay, because her function of uterus is done already. Now your priority is the bones, the muscles, brain, skin and emotions, stomach, intestine, hypertension, diabetes, thyroid, not increasing the endometrial lining, and it cannot be done without the hormones. Okay. So then the Bhave will ask, sir, can we do hormone replacement therapy? Yeah. So someone who is a model, someone who is earning because of her youth brings her money, she will go for hormone replacement therapy. General public, it is not recommended because there are a lot of side effects, including cancers. Okay. So that's why hormone replacement therapy doesn't work here. Okay. Because presently it is not viable because the side effects are much more as compared to the benefits. Someone who is earning crores because of her youth, okay, she's an actress, she needs 1 year prolongation of menopause, or maybe start hormone replacement therapy around perimenopausal age so that she looks younger, okay, apart from all the botox and everything. So for her maybe it is viable because she is ready to die 10 years early to earn that money. That is their mindset. You and me will never have that mindset. We will not choose it for our parents, our mothers, I mean, right? So hormone replacement therapy is not a viable option and not required because it is a phase of life. You need to accept that one day everyone becomes old. So after this, there is a chapter of elderly males. Okay, now there is a difference. So what is a female hormone? Female hormone is estrogen. What is a male hormone? Testosterone. So the estrogen suddenly drops at the menopause, but the testosterone does not drop suddenly. Okay, it keeps, the testes keep on working, manufacturing, and this old man can still be fertile. The old man still continues secreting testosterone. It may be less, but will still continue secreting testosterone. Okay. But both become old. Okay. There is no competition. Yeah? Don't compete. Now coming back to our topic. So Akshay is asking for diagnostic. We should do lipid, liver, HbA1c. Why lipid, liver, HbA1c only? Visit 1mg web app. Book gold comprehensive package, platinum package, and 81 tests are there, which includes CBC, diabetes, including HbA1c, liver, kidney, heart. Heart means risk markers, also homocysteine including. Okay. Then lipids, thyroid. What else you need? Urine. Now, because she is elderly, you can add LH, FSH, estrogen, progesterone. But what will it do? Nothing much. It will add only cost. Okay. What you can actually do is thyroid, breast examination, and pap smear for cervical risk. Right? That pap smear is done by gynecologist, obviously. Mammography you will not do routinely. It is a very painful procedure. You don't want to do it. It is not recommended for routinely, and there are many false negatives. Even if mammography is negative, 10% they say. What stupid? Means even if it is negative, you cannot be sure someone doesn't have the cancer. So there is no point of doing mammography technically, correct? Plus it is extremely painful. Plus it is exposing you to the radiations, though the radiation is less. So mammography is not recommended routinely. What is recommended routinely is the breast palpation. If you detect a lump, then visit the doctor. The doctor decides based on the lump whether it is probably benign or malignant. Then you go for FNSC. Before mammography, you technically go for FNSC because FNSC gives fairly good idea. Yeah, because the problem is with mammography is serious. Routinely, the surgeons prescribe mammography, but false negative is so high you cannot predict. You will miss out, right? And if the tissue is dense, then it gives. I am not able to understand. So inconclusive. Yeah, right. Okay. Once FNSC is positive, then you can go ahead. Once FNSC is negative, then the only objective of mammography will be to identify whether there are other lumps other than this, other than palpable. But there is a serious problem. If the lump is so small that you cannot palpate it, it is less likely that it will be determined on mammography. Then why you are doing it? So many doctors they recommend, and I personally do not support this plan, Baba. Good question. Baba is asking, women with multiple pregnancies, family history of twins, are they prone to menopause? So we understand why you are asking this question. So it's not that there is no linkage between early menopause because of twins or multiple pregnancies. Okay. So, but there is a strong linkage between prolonged breastfeed, multiple children breastfeeding, and reduced risks of breast cancer. So technically, if you have multiple pregnancies, someone has multiple pregnancies, or twins where you need to breastfeed both of them, or you are done prolonged breastfeed, or breastfeed multiple children, then you will be protected from breast cancer, right? So it's not that multiple ovaries are getting released. So I understand why this question is coming, because in the physiology I explained that there is limited number of ovaries and each month 10,000 are utilized and then they will get exhausted. That is a menopause. So if someone has multiple ovaries getting released, will the menopause come early? No, dear. There is no scientific evidence for that. Nothing like that. Okay. And anyways, number of children is just God's gift. You cannot decide. Anyone has any question? For such questions, I have also added foods to reduce the risks of cancer. You like it? In the new edition, I have added this chapter. Then there is a chapter which talks about the foods or the risk factors which cause cancer. Shall I tell you two, three few foods which probably you have already eaten? Okay. Almonds, groundnuts. Sometimes you see that they have this white powdery layer on them. Have you noticed that? And you have dusted that layering and then eaten it. That layering was a fungus, and that fungus is responsible for cancer. Yeah, you already eaten it? Okay. So next time you avoid it. Then on your pickle, there is a white layer which is formed. It can also cause cancer. The dusty powdery white layer on the groundnut is scientifically known, not from that wala scientific, is really known to cause. So where it is like real scientific evidence, I have avoided using this statement scientific evidence. If you find a scientific evidence, it means that scientific evidence. Okay, so it is proven to cause liver cancer. So contaminated groundnuts, never eat it. Okay. Except the days when you fight, you can give it to your husband. That's a separate scenario. I have to say that. Yeah. No, Baba is like, no, sir, my husband is very good. If he fights, I don't give him groundnuts. I give his mother. That day she was asking me, sir, how to manage her. So I was like, this is a legal issue case, Baba. I don't tell you. So, but today I'm giving you some hints. You can still give her the spoiled groundnuts. Okay, Baba? Okay, she's saying yes also. Very terrible. Okay, so this is a good question. So at any age, the menopause is happening. There is an increased risk of stroke also. Why? The protective estrogen is gone. Estrogen is protective for your blood vessels. So it is preventing atherosclerosis. Plus, menopause is also increased risk for hypertension, diabetes. Okay, that age. Now, the protective effect on your blood vessels is gone. Atherosclerosis is fasten up. Plus, aging is fastening up. So, blood vessels will become thick. Because, and lipid. Now, lipid, because of elevated cholesterol, elevated LDLs, plus deposition of lipids and atherosclerotic plaque, these blood vessels get narrow. So there is an increased risk of stroke as well as heart attack. You understand? Woman life is so tough. Yeah. That's why we worship most of the goddess. They are women, gods. That's why we worship them. Shelf life of nuts. I don't know the shelf life of nuts and their storage. What I know is whenever you buy nuts, you have to buy it from good place. I personally buy from Big Basket. So, and it should not have white layer. And when you store it at your house, you should buy it only for 1 month, right? Not a big stock. And if you find, if it is a 5 kg, 1 kg, half kg, whatever amount, if you find white layers on any 5 random nuts, you have to throw it whole. You cannot throw those 5 nuts. You have to throw the whole whatever you have. You don't want to take that risk, right? How many of you eat the leftover food from the night to the next day? Yeah. Yeah. She's like, I'm forced to eat that only, sir. These people eat fresh food every night and they feed me the next day the leftover. I understand your problem, but that is not good for your liver, for your intestine, for your weight gain, for your mood. And then there are people who have learned from, I don't know whether they have learned from US or some hippies. They keep the food in the freezer, the vegetables, the cooked vegetables, yeah, sabji, and then they keep this non-veg cooked in the freezer or the refrigerator, and then eat it after 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, rewarm it. Why you cannot afford fresh food? Why you are doing it? So that is very harmful for weight gain, liver, intestine, plus mood, and yeah. So I will not say that in this time. It is boring if you say it every time. Sometimes fungus is there, so fungus increases the chances of cancer or the zombie attacks. So I have one theory I will tell you now. Okay, listen carefully. So have you heard there are some drugs like LSD and all? So if you take these drugs, what will happen is, pay attention, very interesting theory. So this LSD and all, what will happen if you take it? It will alter your mood. You will lose control on your brain, right? So this chemical is that it makes you lose control on yourself. Your brain is altered, right? From where this LSD comes? It comes from a fungus. Tick tick. So if you eat some fungus, this fungus will go in your intestine and it will grow there and it will start secreting some chemical. This chemical will impair your brain control. Have you seen the World War Z movie? And what is that? That lonely, what is that single survivor? What is that? There is one more movie related to World War Z. Have you seen? Yeah. Okay. So now, why this fungus cannot survive in the intestine? Why this fungus cannot, as of now, survive in the human beings? Because of our body temperature. What is our body temperature? 27. All this fungus, they can survive at a particular temperature. Okay, they are very temperature sensitive because probably they can survive, but they need particular humidity, carbon dioxide, and exactly particular temperature to grow, multiply, and to produce some chemical. Right now at 27, they are not yet adapted. They are able to do this at the 24 degrees Celsius. Now global warming. So with the global warming, all the fungus in the environment, they will learn to adapt to 27 slowly. Over the decades, they will learn to adapt to 27 degrees Celsius. How to survive and how to still produce that chemical. Correct? Once they learn that, yeah, 27, presently 24 is their optimum. 27 is the new optimum. Then they can survive in the human body. Either inside or outside, secrete a chemical. That chemical gets absorbed through your skin or through your intestine, goes to your brain, and you become zombie. You like that theory? Yeah. That is the reason you need to prevent your global warming. And not because the floods will happen and all those things. Flood war to chalta hai yaar. We have the big boat na Noah has created. So we need to prevent global warming for zombie attacks. Okay. And because of the similar mechanism, you need to avoid eating stale food, contaminated groundnuts, and contaminated pickle, contaminated almonds. You like this theory? And I will also prove you just shortly, you will agree to me that you are still a zombie. How many of you on a daily basis feel anxiety, stress, depression, either one of this? Blink your eyes. Yes? You're feeling? Were you feeling it earlier? Since you were born, when you were young, teenager? No? The day you got married, you have started feeling it, right. So, okay, that is a one reason. Another is the food, the contamination has happened. So there is some parasite which is there in your intestine, which is some microbial flora, right, which is secreting some particular chemical that is making you sound cuckoo, 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 right? So what is that? So what is the source of serotonin? So how you feel happy? Dopamine. How do you prevent depression? How do you prevent anxiety? Dopamine, right? So you need dopamine in the brain. What is a precursor for dopamine? Dopamine comes from serotonin. Serotonin is a chemical secreted in the intestine. It is not in brain. It is secreted in intestine. How it's secreted? With good microbial flora and good fibers. So that's why you need to eat salad and you need to eat Acticopro, my probiotic, so that you don't become zombie. Done. Right? If you explain this to the client, will the client not buy Actico Pro plus eat salad from you? Yes, they will. So you can buy from me at 50% cost. Sell it to them at MRP. You like it? That's a good money. Plus you are helping. You are not selling protein to people and telling them drink it in water if they cannot afford the milk. How many of you like this theory? Write down the chat. Oh, this is true story. Hey, this is not theory. Theory means like hypothesis. So this is a true story. How many of you like the true story of why you are feeling anxiety, stress, depression? So there are only two major reasons. One is your food contamination, and second is the day there is significant date. Yeah. So that's why the major focus of mine throughout the day, the meal, what I eat, is to prevent contamination by zombie causing parasites or bacteria, plus keep drinking, eating healthy things that supports my gut, plus at least 5-6 sachets of Actica Pro every day. But I am not selfish. So what I have done is, in the book, this edition, I have added all the list of the detox, whatever it is, juice recipes, detox. The chapter I have added actually, detox recipe, 50 detox recipe I have mentioned. You should take it as long as you want to survive, as long as you want to be happy. But sometimes detox recipe like bale juice, it depends on the season also. So yeah, so that will be seasonal. Otherwise, you should take it every year. So keep on changing. Okay. Do not eat contaminated foods. If you must eat outside food, go to the best, most costliest place your husband can afford. I mean, you can afford. Sorry. Now you are an independent woman, huh? Sir, every time do I depend on my husband? No, my dear, you don't depend. Next time, show me that you are an independent woman by sending me some gold coin or something like that. Where can I find new edition? You will get it, dear. You will get it. I'm doing my OCD on that, so it is written thrice, 3 times it is completed. Hey, my medical legal book is out. I told you. So I have been writing medical legal books since 6 months, and then one day I woke up and I was like, okay, I will finalize it today, and my file was gone. I'm like, so I started writing it again. Then 5 days, 5 nights, I did not sleep. I wrote it second time. The second time writing was much better. Quality was very good. Then some part of it got lost because I was doing the troubleshooting on my MacBook and something happened and my half file was gone. Then I rewrote it third time, and that third time turned out to be the awesome. And now it is on Amazon. It is selling very fast. You can buy it from Amazon. Medical legal book. Okay. You can search my name. You will find that. Not to worry. Nutrition dietary book is there on Amazon, but I have removed the availability as of now because the new edition is going to come. You don't need to buy it. You will get it. Okay. But anyways, if you want to buy it, I would prefer, because you are an independent woman, so you want to give me money. Yeah, as a, like, sir, you have taught me so much how to be happy, and the major cause of all the emotional troubles is marriage. Once you know that this is a cause, you can heal that problem. Yeah, so that's why, sir, I want to give you some money. I always take. Yeah, give me donation, or you can keep buying books every time. Hey, how many of you have read Letter to Student? So go on Amazon, search my name, find the book Letter to Student. It is a low cost book as compared to other books of mine. And this Letter to Student book is for you as well as for your child. If you and your child read this book, you will develop a stronger emotional bond with your child, and your child will develop stronger emotional bond with you. To increase the bond between the parent and the child, this book is written. Now, children don't want to read the big books, yeah. So every page is 30 seconds. You like it? So every page exactly, because your children are like you, short attention span, addicted to mobiles and YouTube and Instagram. So I have written this book, Understanding Your Audience. Short attention span people, 30 seconds, one page. You can read randomly, you can read sequence wise. You need to find few pages that brings tears to your eyes. Yeah, it happens. Everyone tells that. Letter to Student. Letter to Student by Dr. Pawan Mittal. Okay. Go on Amazon, buy it. Hey, if you are punching the order, inform me also. Huh? Send me the screenshot, I mean. Okay. You can go to Amazon, search my name. You will find most of the books there. Not most actually. Few of the books which I sell on Amazon. Other books I'm not allowed to sell on Amazon because I have contract with some organizations and they sell it. Should we end the class? Continue the class? No, sir, please continue, sir. This is the only time I feel I find my happiness, sir. Okay. Other days, sir, what I'm doing. The question Bhavya has asked is probably um, a naive and a horrible question. So the question is, can eating more salad can cause malabsorption? Where, which malabsorption? Most of the salad they contain nutrients and minerals. So if you are eating salad, your nutrients and minerals will be absorbed. Carbohydrate, protein, fats, whatever they have to get absorbed, they will get absorbed here. So don't worry about that. Okay. So eating more salad can cause malabsorption. No science proves that, and it is not correct. Someone has misguided you. More salad, it has more benefit only because it will reduce your major food. Carbohydrate intake it will reduce, fat intake it will reduce. Okay, then it will increase your mineral and vitamin absorption because that is also available from salad. It supports your gut microbial flora. That brings you happiness. August exam mid August. So by July end we get the confirmed dates. I will give you proper brief to last week of July. Okay, the exam pattern because I will also get that clarity by that time. Mid August, 5 days. Don't worry, exam will be easy. Huh? Exam will be seriously easy. Huh? Scientific evidence proves that exam will be easy. Those who study the book and put the good review of the book, those who buy Letter to Student, they score highest marks, they get outstanding student award. So the question is like, sir, I am going to buy Letter to Student right now, I want outstanding student award. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. I will send you 2, 3 more books. Then I will send you my donation account number also to get the outstanding student award. So we meet. Whatever is your practice or whatever you have intention for practice, understand the major business is going to be the women of reproductive age group because they are health conscious. They come for their children, they come for preventing the complications in the menopause, they come for lactation. So take up the advanced lactation consultant lifetime valid certificate program. I will give you very good scholarship. take up pediatric nutrition in AICDN consultant or maternal child nutrition, whichever is your audience. Okay, and take psychology counseling. Okay, because nutrition, diet, psychology is a good business, and you will realize that nutrition, diet, this money, and psychology has more money. Okay, and the investment is minimum for psychology in terms of the fees. So if you are interested, you can go through the website, talk to me, and yeah, psychology fees is already less, so that is the. But you will learn actually how to counsel the client for each condition. You will learn diagnostic symptoms, how to counsel the client, how to manage them actually, what are their questions, how to answer, and you will learn conversation script between client and counselor for every condition. Anxiety, stress, depression, OCD, bipolar disorder, ADHD for child, ADHD for adult, ADHD for adolescent, autism, personality disorder, eating disorder, schizophrenia, loneliness, hopelessness. Very good. Yeah. So now that day Bhave was asking, sir, I think I read your book and I found that my mother-in-law has schizophrenia. How should I manage it? I said, you should leave away from her. Yeah, that is the only way to manage a schizophrenia patient. Okay. Then one of the students, she called and asked, sir, my husband has narcissist personality disorder. After reading your book, I realized that. Yeah, how do I manage it? Do you want to buy a new husband? No. You learn to live with that. There is no option. You cannot change the narcissism, but you will learn how to manage it. Okay. Sir, I'm anxiety, stress, depression. How do I live? Okay, there is a real answer to it. You can manage, you can survive. Okay. So, how to manage, how to talk to yourself, how to talk to the client, how to actually manage. You will learn every condition. Okay. Schizophrenia is a part of the syllabus because it should be, so that you know that you should stay away from them. Next time, Bhavya, use your earphone. She's listening to you. Ah, very smart. Yeah, yes, yes. I thought you saw towards her and then saw in the camera, so I thought she's listening to you. Smart girl. Huh, very good. Yeah. She has taken psychology counseling. Huh. And listen to my videos also. So she learned the tactics. Anyways, if you want to buy the book, you can go to Amazon, buy the book, and if you take up course, the book and the course cost is not much difference, because the book is costliest part of the book course actually. And if you don't want to do both of them, then you can visit my channel and listen to the videos from the playlist. Okay, you will enjoy that also. Child counseling is also there, how to manage your children. Okay, thank you everyone, have a great time. We'll meet Wednesday, Sundays. Wednesdays for psychology counseling. Thank you. Bye.